Hey everybody, this is Andy here from Real Around Gaming, and I'm here with the Pokemon battle. I know I haven't done it in a while, and here, let me explain myself. So, back around June 19th was the last time I posted a battle, and then the next day I left on a vacation for a week, and I was going to take a break from competitive battling during that week, but Pokemon Black and White 2 came out, which released a lot of new things, like Move Tutor moves, the new Kyurem forms, the new Therian forms, and of course, I took a bad time to take a break. So I come back and I try to play the new metagame, and it's rough because no one knows what's going on. Stuff is so OP, like the Kyurem forms, and it was just a mess. So I took a 2-month break. I was occasionally watching like Poketubers on Battle, like Kote and stuff, and Congressional Wombat, but you know how it goes. So I decided to get back into it today. I designed a Hail team because I've never used Hail before. I just wanted to see what it was like. And I like it. I like it. It doesn't really fare well against the other weathers, but if you play it right, it's always deadly. So let's look at this guy's team. He's got a standard team of 6 pokes, no weather inducer, which is kind of strange. Puts you at a humongous disadvantage if you don't have weather on your team. So it kind of looks like he just slapped 6 pokes on his team. I mean, he doesn't really have the core. He has a core of Ferrothorn and Jellicent, and maybe a little bit of Gliscor in there. That's basically his defensive core. And then his offensive core is Scizor, Salamence, and Jolteon. So looking at his team, I knew that those 3 were going to be his defensive cores. Jellicent probably a special wall. Gliscor is defensive, and Ferrothorn was supposed to be mixed. The Scizor I thought was going to be choice banded. Salamence, I think it's going to be a Dragon Dance Sweeper, and a Jolteon, I think it's going to be a choice spec Sweeper / Scouter. So that's what I think before the game. And then the lead off is another thing that I spent a lot of time thinking about, because getting momentum at the beginning of a battle is great. So what you need to do is think, if I was playing against your team, so basically saying, if you're your opponent, what would you expect you to lead off with? I know it's kind of hard to explain, but for me, I would probably expect me to lead off with Obamasnow. So I'm going to mix that up. I'm not going to lead off with Obamasnow because that is too obvious. And my opponent is probably going to think that I'm lead off with Obamasnow, so they're going to probably start off with their Scizor. So I chose Heatran as my lead, and let's see what that does and how that fares me at the beginning of the battle. So he leads off with his Jolteon, because that's his Scouter. And I knew he was going to Volt Switch, so I just went for the Earth Power, because you never want to overpredict. Go for the most obvious move possible on the first turn. So he sends out his Special Wall, Jellicent, and I get the lucky Special Defense Trap, which is nice. So I'm going to send out my Obamasnow, because this is a perfect time, because I know the Scald is coming, and I really don't care if it gets burned. But I would rather not be burned because it has Wood Hammer and it's a Choice Scarf set. So I go for the Hidden Power, expecting him to switch what a logical person would do into Ferrothorn or Scizor, but he does not switch. And then, this is even weirder. I go into Mamoswine, predicting the Salamence switching, but he goes into Scizor when he knows that I just used Hidden Power Fire. I don't understand that move. So, I know the Bullet Punch is coming, so I let Heatran take it. I know the Scizor can't do anything to Heatran besides the Superpower, and I'm not sure what set he's running yet, so I'm just going to go into Obamasnow, because I know that Jellicent's coming in. And once again, I go for the Hidden Power Fire, expecting the obvious switch into Scizor or Ferrothorn, but he recovers. And so here, I'm going for it again. I'm like, YOLO, I'm going for it. Sorry, I said I would never say YOLO again, but I did. And I get it right this time, which is nice. So I know he's not going to stay in again. I know it. I know he's going to switch out, and I know he's going into that Jellicent. So I go for the hidden power. Wait, no. Excuse me. I lost track a little bit. I didn't want to overpredict again, so I went for another hidden power fire because pretty much you don't want overpredicting at the beginning of the game can get you into so much trouble. Normally, it can lose your weather inducer, or you can miss a KO on your opponent's weather inducer. So he scalds with his Jellicent, and I get the water absorb. I try to taunt, but he outspeeds me, which means he's running 44 speed EVs, probably just like me. I like to speed creep. Probably I'm going to add 4 more speed EVs so that doesn't happen again. So I know a Will-O-Wisp or a Toxic is coming, so I go into Obamasnow. I know Jellicent really can't do anything, and I go for the Wood Hammer here. I'm burned, but it still does pretty decent damage for Obamasnow not having a lot of attack. It does 33%. So this hail is really nice. I'm liking it. So now I'm going to go into Kyurem because I know I can beast anything on his team with it, except the Caesar. This is a choice spec max special attack Kyurem. No, it's timid, actually. So now he knows that I'm down and out of luck with the special attack drop, and he goes into his Ferrothorn to maybe set up some spikes or something, but instead he Leech Seeds and he misses, but that's okay. That happens sometimes. And he Leech Seeds my Heatran, which is going to end up sucking in the end because you'll see. So he saps me, and he puts my Heatran in a horrible position where if he sets up Stealth Rocks, he can only switch in like 3 more times. So I predict him to switch into his Salamence to take the Flamethrower. So I go for the Hidden Power Ice, and I take out one of his sweepers, which is great because I wasn't going to have a problem with the Salamence because it's a hail team for Christ's sake. So I go into Mamoswine so I can take that Volt Absorb, or not Volt Turn, excuse me. And I go for the Icicle Crash, and this I did not know. I thought Bug was weak to ice, but apparently not. So Caesar takes that Icicle Crash like a beast. And now he's going to Bullet Punch. And I seriously thought ground resisted steel, but it doesn't. That sucks. So my team is really weak to steel. I have to remember that. So I go for the Earthquake just to get some damage. And now I hate this next part. I hate it. He proceeds to Roost Stall me. So this is a bulky Swords Dance Caesar with Swords Dance, Roost, I assume Bug Bite, and Bullet Punch. So I do not have to worry about the superpower. So Heatran can come on in safely. But I don't know when he's gonna Bullet Punch though, so I'm kind of scared of sending in Heatran. And my Earthquake is only doing 42%, so he's gaining 8% health every single turn, thanks to his lefties. So pretty soon, I realize that this is an uphill battle, and I'm just not going to win this, so I have to do something. So I switch it to Heatran, because I know something is coming, and look how much that does, 20%, and it's 4 times resisted. Wow. So I know I can't survive the Bullet Punch. That's a dead Heatran. But a good thing is when a Pokemon goes down, you get to switch in one of your Pokemon, and that is such a great advantage. So I go into Jellicent, and Jellicent's at full health, so I know that nothing Caesar can do, because it can do any damage to it, because Bug Bite is resisted by the Ghost. So, even at +2, it only does 30 damage. Because this is somewhat of a bulky Jellicent, and I just go for the Will-O-Wisp because I know that it can burn it in half its attack, and basically that's a hindered Caesar. And what he does next really surprises me. The Jolteon, that did not surprise me. I knew something was coming in. I just go for a cover. I thought that this was going to be the Choice Spec set, but you'll see in a second that it is not. It's some sort of weird supporter cleric set. So I thought that was really strange that he had Heal Bell. So his Caesar is not burned, and he carries his Shadow Ball. Basic stuff. And I just Will-O-Wisp it. I was expecting the Caesar to come in, or the Gliscor or something to come in. But no. So, I don't understand why he has Heal Bell on his team when he has a Gliscor. That just defeats the point of one of Gliscor's abilities. So, I sent in Donphan because I know that Jolteon can't do anything to it, especially if it doesn't have choice specs. And he knows I'm going for the obvious Earthquake, but I decided to set up my rocks, because that is going to be pretty worthwhile, because I haven't set those up. And I've said so many times how important stealth rocks are. It is so important. So I go for the 4x2 effective Ice Shard, and it doesn't do as much as I thought it was, and he gets a crit on that Ice Fang. Oh, God. So it doesn't really matter, because I have a plan here. If I can take out that Caesar, then I can sweep his whole team with Kyurem. So that's the main goal. So I send in Jellicent on so I can surf the Gliscor. I knew he was going to switch out, but I just made a safe play just in case he didn't switch out. And he goes into the Ferrothorn, so I'm pretty sure a Leech Seed or something is coming. Or a Power Whip, so I burn it, and I miss, which really sucked. I really wish I would have hit that, because it probably would have made this battle a little bit less scarier. I'm not gonna lie, I do get a little bit scared. So now he's setting up entry hazards in my face, and my Rapid Spinner's dead, and this is a Hail team, so entry hazards are just absolutely godly horrible for Hail teams. So I switched out into Mamoswine because I know that I can do a lot to this thing. So I'm going to go for my Stab Earthquake because it can hit every single thing on his team except the Gliscor. And I don't think he realizes that I'm Choice Banded yet. So if he would have realized I was Choice Banded, he wouldn't have said in the Gliscor. And since this is not the Choice Banded Caesar, I can live a Bullet Punch and take him out with a Choice Banded Earthquake, and now he realizes that I'm Choice Banded, so he's gonna go into his Gliscor. So I sack my Jellicent, and it is time to clean this boy up with my ambidextrous sweeper Kyurem. I was really afraid that I wasn't gonna outspeed, but I am timid, and Kyurem has decent speed, so I don't know. And that's pretty much the game. I know that Jolteon cannot beat me no matter what it does, so yeah. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and deuces.